What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another offseason rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, continuing these offseason rebuilds, and we are going to be using the Brooklyn Nets, who have just been eliminated by my Boston Celtics in a 4-game sweep. This team does need a little bit of help. They might not need the most help of any team going into this offseason, obviously led by Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving will be a free agent. I'm assuming he's probably going to re-sign. Who knows, though? We're going to get into this one today, man. It's going to be like every other offseason rebuild. We're going to go 3 off-seasons in 3 seasons. I'm really excited for this one today. So I know a lot of you guys were saying in my comment section on my most recent Oklahoma City Thunder offseason rebuild saying, don't do the Nets just yet. You know, they're a good team. Other teams need help a little bit more. I got a lot of requests for the Hawks. Unfortunately, I got the thumbnail made for this one before I really saw those comments. So we're doing this one, but again, I still always want your feedback down below in the comment section. And finally, while you're down there leaving comments, feel free to leave some other video ideas as well. They don't have to be offseason rebuilds. Of course, we can do all sorts of rebuilds here. If you guys are new to the channel, man, we'd love to have you. Stick around a while, hit that subscribe button, and join the community. Brooklyn Nets, they definitely need a little bit of help. They're not in the worst shape. They're not in the best shape. Let's get into it. So there's obviously going to be a lot of moving pieces on this team. The Nets in the playoffs did not have Joe Harris. I think, you know, they obviously didn't have Ben Simmons either. But I think, again, there's some things I want to do with this team. I kind of have them mapped out in my mind where this team can instantly basically become a title contender. So we're into our first offseason right now. We can look at some player retirements. There's probably not really many from this team. I can't imagine there's none. Staff retirement. Popovich finally retires. Interesting to see. And Dwight does make it the Hall of Fame. Jersey retirements. Dwight Howard. Surprise, surprise. All right, time to get into the fun stuff. League meetings. I reject all of these as always. We can hit the draft lottery. We definitely do not have a lottery pick, but I know a lot of you guys do like seeing this, so we can go ahead and sim. And it is going to be the Wizards, Mavericks, and then the Oklahoma City Thunder. I obviously have to re-sim the entire 2021-2022 NBA season. Whoops, hit my desk. Because there's no start today here, so that's unfortunately kind of how this goes in the updated 2K. Staff signing, I'm not a huge fan of Steve Nash, but I'll give him one more year, kind of a prove-it year, if you will. I'll set an expectation after I make this roster, and we can kind of go from there. So he will be our head coach for at least one more season. I'm not saying he's a bad head coach or anything. I'm just saying the whole give it to Kevin Durant and fuck it system, it really doesn't work out. And it really didn't work out, if we're being honest. So, we can head up to the draft. Do we have a first-round pick? We do. It's from Philadelphia. I'm not exactly sure who has our first-round pick. Was it in the James Harden and Ben Simmons deal? I'm not 100% on that. Okay, here's what we got to work with right now. Here's what we know. Here are the facts. We have Kevin Durant, who's a top 3 player, in my opinion, on the planet. When he's healthy, fully healthy, top 3 player on the planet. I do not plan on moving him on or moving on from him at any point. Ben Simmons is interesting because he doesn't actually play that bad in this game. He actually progresses really well, and he can't sit out because I'm just going to play his ass. There's really no arguing that. Seth Curry, really good playoff games against the Celtics this year. Joe Harris did not play. Cam Thomas, Durant Sharp. They're probably not going to be here. I think there's a little bit of potential for both of them. I just think I can maybe trade them, maybe get an upgrade at one of the starting positions along with Joe Harris. So we have some moves to make. I don't really think I'm going to be, using this 28th pick. I think I can maybe again include it in a trade for a better player at a starting position. Well, we can see we obviously also have to focus on re-signing Kyrie Irving. I really don't want to just let one of the best point guards in the league walk out the door. We're going to work on that. I'll see you guys with the trade. First trade of the offseason is going to be coming here with the Atlanta Hawks. Joe Harris, Durant Sharp, Dayron. Again, I'm horrible with names. And our first round pick this year over to Atlanta. We're picking up Clint Capella. I think he's kind of a missing piece on this team. That Jarrett Allen presence is obviously no longer here after they traded him away to Cleveland. I think picking him up in Clint Capella is going to be a huge upgrade. I don't have a problem with Nick Claxton. Hell, Drummond played decent for them at times in the playoffs. I just think Clint Capella is an overall much better player, and I'm excited to have him next to a guy like Kevin Durant, who will be playing power forward, definitely do different things better. So, Clint Capella, welcome to the squad, going to be our new starting center. He's also not making a ton of money. We can now skip over the draft, get into team player options, see what we got here. Kyrie declines, surprise, surprise. Patty Mills accepts that player option. I'm not 100% sold on him. I just think he's going to start regressing, basically the way it goes with a lot of these guys once they hit a certain age. Kyrie's obviously a priority, though, and I'm pretty much going to give him as much money as he wants. Kessler, Edwards, no. A lot of these guys, if this was a realistic or a real-life thing, I would 100% be giving these qualifying offers to. There's just no way that they're going to play in my 9-man rotation, if you kind of catch what I'm saying. So there's really no reason to give them those qualifying offers. So, Kyrie has 15 offers. Technically, you can see here, none of them are actually real contracts, so I'm assuming that means he's probably going to come back rather easily. I would also like to focus on Nick Claxton and Bruce Brown. I don't want to just let those 2 guys go. Claxton is restricted, Bruce Brown is not, but Kyrie, 100% number 1 priority. I'm not going to give him a no-trade clause, but that's a max contract. He should be coming back here, and then I will give Bruce Brown a contract. Wants around 10 mil per year for 3 years. That's not horrible, honestly, for his services. I'll wait on Claxton just because he's restricted. I'm fine with Aldridge going. Hell, it's an unrealistic rebuild. I'll sign LaMarcus Aldridge and trade him. Again, it's not a huge issue if I bring him back and he doesn't end up playing. But again, if I can get some sort, I'm going to let Drummond go. And Blake. And Dragic. If I can go ahead and maybe get something for him, might as well do it. Like maybe a sign and trade in real life. I don't think that would ever happen. But he's back. We're going to wait on Claxton just because, again, I don't want to give him the qualifying offer because I think I'd rather have him for a couple years here. We will now go ahead and pay Nick Claxton. He wants around $12 million per year for 3 years. Not bad at all for a backup center. Okay, cool. So the roster's looking like this as of now. I got to figure out what I want to do with the starting five. Obviously, I want to incorporate Ben Simmons in there somehow, whether that be at the small forward position if he's not a ball handler. Again, it's kind of a weird thing where he can't really do the majority of things that a lot of small forwards do, so I don't want to play him at small forward. But, you know, I kind of like having Kyrie at point guard, so I don't really know. Like, I get Kyrie Irving was not always the primary ball handler, but I don't know. I really don't. But we're going to work on a trade with Aldridge. I think I'd like an upgrade at the starting small forward spot no matter what. I'm fine with Seth Curry for a year. Only thing that makes me nervous about that is he is a free agent after next year. I do like his shooting a lot, though, so maybe we can find a way to have him come off the bench. Something like that. But we're definitely going to cook up some sort of trade. I'll see you guys with that move. We're going to be doing a blockbuster here. I didn't think I was going to trade Ben Simmons. I thought I was going to give him a chance. You move him to small forward. He goes up to an 88 overall. And yeah, Brandon Ingram popped up on the trade finder. It would be idiotic for me to decline this. We're necessarily trading the number 1 overall pick for the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 NBA draft. There's not a chance in hell New Orleans would ever do something like this. But this is 2K, and this is not a realistic video game. So we have our starting 5 figured out. It's going to be Kyrie, Seth, Ingram, Durant, and Capella. I'm very comfortable with that. We still have not traded LaMarcus Aldridge because, again, I do want to develop Nick Claxton a little bit off of the bench. So Aldridge will most likely get traded for some sort of other position piece. I'm not, again, 100% sure. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe just moving on from Patty Mills and letting Kyrie be the one without a backup. Maybe giving Cam Thomas potentially some backup point guard minutes, but we can kind of figure that out as playmaking isn't as high as I would like it to be potentially. But we also just got Larry Nance Jr., who's not a bad bench piece at all. But again, I mean, you would think that Kevin Durant wouldn't be the one having a backup. So I don't know. I'm going to figure out something with Aldridge. We probably got 1 or 2 trades left. So I actually like this deal a lot for us here. LaMarcus Aldridge, Patty Mills, and a second-round pick going to Boston for Marcus Smart. Excuse me, Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. We also pick up Aaron Nesmith, who's actually not a bad rotation piece. He kind of had a tough first, bit of a stretch of a season this year. Then he kind of finally picked it up. But Marcus Smart's a huge backup point guard for us. Hell, he's playing tremendously as the Celtics starting point guard right now. I think that overall should definitely be updated. But he will most likely be Kyrie Irving's backup. We can kind of look at the way this team's kind of built right now. Again, I'm a little bit nervous about that shooting guard spot just because, again, Seth Curry, free agent after this year. But I think he kind of fits this team. He's not a guy that's going to be demanding the ball a ton. He's kind of just a good spot-up shooter. Can occasionally maybe do a couple things with the ball, but I think it's an overall good fit. And again, I can develop Cam Thomas maybe a little bit. So we'll kind of figure out how this one goes. But Seth's going to be my guy here for year number 1. I honestly might move on from Aaron Nesmith and just get a first-round pick for him. But other than that, this team's pretty much set. Which means I'm probably going to have to decide if I want to go 9 or 10 man and keep Larry Nance Jr. because I'm definitely keeping Marcus Smart, obviously. But I think Nesmith's 100% going to go. And then I'm going to glance at offers for Larry Nance Jr. just because, again, we could keep him, but I don't really know how much of a difference it would make, if you know what I'm saying. Like, oh, 2 first-round picks from Memphis. Thank you. Like, he would probably be playing 10 minutes off the bench. Would that really be worth keeping him? You know what I'm saying? It depends what I can get, honestly. Let me see. I'm not seeing just like, ooh, this first-round pick. Ooh, does that mean we just got our first-round pick back? I don't know. I don't know how the whole swap pick thing works. It confuses the hell out of me. I wish you just said, like, I don't even know. Whatever. We got some first-round pick back. It was ours and the Houston Rockets. Whatever. It's over. We're going to be a 9-man rotation next year. KD will not have a backup. I like this team a lot better than how it was started off. I think we're going to be in a good spot to contend. Whoa. A good spot to contend for championships. See you guys at the start of the first year. We've arrived here at the start of year number 1 for us in Brooklyn, and our starting lineup has already been figured out, and it has been filled. And I'm really excited to see this team. It's going to be Kyrie Irving, Seth Curry, Brandon Ingram, Kevin Durant, and Clint Capella. It's a much better starting 5 than I was anticipating for year number 1 here in Brooklyn. So I'm honestly really happy with it. And our bench is also really solid. We got Marcus Smart as our 6th man, Nicholas Claxton, Cameron Thomas, and then Bruce Brown down there as well. I have no complaints about the bench right now. Again, I don't foresee it being an issue, but if anything pops up, we can address it at some point in the offseason. This is a good enough team to win a championship, in my opinion. Let's hopefully get that done. See you guys at the end of the first year. First season for us here in Brooklyn comes to an end. Luka Doncic puts up another just ridiculous stat line like he always does in this game and wins his first career MVP. More importantly, we are the #1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. Home court advantage throughout the playoffs. You love to see it. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year, is in Indiana. Deshaun Highland, Sixth Man of the Year in Denver. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. Precious Achiuwa, Most Improved. Willie Green, the Pelicans, of course. At least I'm not in the Western Conference this time. Always a pain in the ass. So, we can sim the play-in. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some stats and standings first, though. Finished the record of 53-29. That was good enough for that 1 seed. Battled with Cleveland, looked like a little bit. Then the Pelicans, of course, doing their thing. We can look at some numbers as well. Brandon Ingram leading this team in scoring. We have 3 22-plus point per game scores. That is insane, and you love to see it. Capella, Thomas, Seth Curry, Marcus Smart, all doing their thing. Really happy with the output of this team. Again, I'm not going to be content until I do win a championship, though. 14 boards a game for Capella. That's awesome. Kyrie led us in assists as well. So, let's sim the play and see what we got in round 1. It's going to be the Chicago Bulls. Let's do the damn thing. All right. Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic, Kobe White, Alex Caruso. Not a bad team. It's really not. Again, not probably a little bit better than most playing teams, if I had to say so. And we're up 3-0 on them. They do get a game in there, and we close them out in 5 games. Moving on to Miami, the current 1 seed in the Eastern Conference this year in real life, hoping that they don't win a championship. They don't come out of these. I want my Celtics to do that. Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Damian Collins, Bam Adebayo. They got Omar Yurtseven off the bench, Max Strus, Eric Bledsoe, Jeremy Lamb. Not a horrible bench. It's not a great bench, though. I think our bench is definitely going to be kind of one of the difference makers. I say that, and we are now 3-1. What do I know? Also, when I simmed it last year, in the first year, Miami won the championship, in case I really didn't go over that too much. And we come back from being down 3-1, and now we are facing Cleveland here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Kyrie's old team, or one of his old teams, if you will. Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Lowry Markkanen, Mobley, and Jared Allen. Just a disgusting front court. They got Sexton off the bench. They got Kevin Love, Karis LeVert, Jaden Ivey. Oh, Jaden Ivey, wow. Holy hell, that is a deep, deep team that makes me a little bit nervous. We are up 3-1, though, and that's a gentleman's sweep as they take game 1. We win 4 straight. And here come the big, bad New Orleans Pelicans. CJ, Herbert Jones, Ben Simmons, Zion Williamson, Mr. 93 overall MVP candidate himself, who hasn't played in a year. And the rest of this team. Jose Alvarado there, just a nightmare against CP3. We're 1-1 with them right now. We're up 2-1. We're 2-2, so we got a best-of-3 series here. We have 2 games on home court potentially. Maybe we can close them out in New Orleans. That would be huge, and we get it done. Kevin Durant leads Brooklyn to a championship in our first year of this rebuild. That is awesome. You love seeing that. Does take the pressure off a little bit. Of course, I do want to win more. That's just how these pretty much do go. Imagine if I just stopped as soon as I won a championship. It would be a quick video. All right, league meeting time. 2 of these were approved. Modify the goaltending rule to ball. And that's so dumb. Like this would be like, you know those like when players take shots and like it'll bounce around on the rim. Like I'm pretty sure this rule means like as soon as it hits the rim, you swat the shit out of it. That's my takeaway of it. Anyways, we'll hit the draft lottery. I know we traded for a Houston pick. I don't think we actually have. Well, the Pelicans are just in the finals, and they're gonna have 2 top picks most likely, unless there's protections on those. They have 1. It's from the Lakers. That's still crazy though. They literally were just in the finals. They went 6 games in the finals with us, and they now have the 2nd overall pick at Anthony Davis trade. Oh, good God. I'll bring back Steve Nash. I mean, typically I just sign Mike Stauffer, but it would be a weird move for me to fire my head coach after winning a championship. I can't morally do that. So we have to head up to the draft. Did I miss that? Oh, I must have missed that. We got that 4th overall pick from the Rockets. That was the Larry Nance trade. Oh, that is huge. That's huge. I don't even know what I want to do with it. I was pretty content with this team, man. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, well, I'm not going to lie. I don't know this draft class a lot. I know Victor's here, Scoot Henderson, Keontae George, Amari Bailey. So what position do I really need? I don't need a center, so Victor's probably not in contention. I don't think he's falling to 4 anyways. Don't need a backup point guard. I could use a new shooting guard. Keontae George or maybe Amari Bailey definitely could be in the conversation. Let's hop into this draft. Again, I did not think I had a top 4 pick. I must have just glanced over it. My bad. I'll take that, though. Summary so far. Scoot Henderson goes 1. Victor Wembanyama, or however you pronounce his name, and then Amari Bailey. So it's probably going to be Keontae George, who's going to be a B- overall. We have him 75% scouted. Again, I really don't know anything about this dude. I'm not even going to pretend to. And he's going to be a 78 overall for us. Welcome to Brooklyn. Welcome to a championship contending team. It's funny, I was also just kind of giving not shit. I wasn't shitting on the Pelicans for having the #2 overall pick after being to the finals. We just won a championship and then had a top 5 pick. So That's pretty crazy. We'll bring back Cam Thomas. He was solid for us. I'm honestly probably going to run a rotation of shooting guards with those two. I think it's time to move on from Seth Curry, most likely. Utah and Chris Chioza, no thank you. I don't think we really need your services on this team anymore, if you will. Free agency, we have Seth Curry. I'm content to just let him go. Honestly, I don't really know much about Keontae George, but I'm honestly kind of leaning to give him the nod and start him. It's nothing against Cam Thomas, but when you draft a guy 4th overall, you kind of want to develop him as fast as possible. So, other than that, I think this team's pretty much still intact. I don't really see a reason to head into a free agency where I'm really not going to do anything. So, if this team wants to just run it back, you're going to get no argument here. Let's do it. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. Start of year number 2 for us here in Brooklyn. The starting 5 is pretty much as you would expect. Kyrie Irving. I'm giving the nod to Keontae George, as I mentioned, just because we took him 4th overall. I want to see if he can develop potentially really, really quickly and turn into maybe an all-star by our final season. I think that would be cool. As you can see, though, I'm giving Cam Thomas more minutes off the bench than how many I typically give my 6 men, just because, again, he's also developing super quickly. And, again, I know he's super young. He's 22 years old. I'm not saying he's a bust or he's not worth starting. I'm just going to go with my guy that I just drafted 4th overall, something I had a say in. I'm going to go with it. If it's not working, he's not playing well, I will make the switch, and of course, I'll let you know. Brandon Ingram, Kevin Durant, and Clint Capella remains on the starting lineup. Surprise, surprise. Cameron Thomas is our 6th man, as I mentioned. Marcus Smart still here, Nick Claxton, and then Bruce Brown. Bench really didn't change too much. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2, hopefully going back-to-back. Second season comes to an end. Luka Doncic, once again, the MVP. Yeah, another ridiculous stat line of 38 points a game, 11 rebounds, 8.5 assists. The dick eating is just, it's crazy. This is ridiculous behavior. This is so out of pocket. That's crazy. Luka Doncic is a hell of a player. He's a top 10 NBA player. You can call him top 7, 8, whatever the hell you want to do. I'm not getting into my order right now. He's a top 10 player in my opinion. What the fuck is that stat line? When was the last time somebody averaged anything remotely close to that? That's just crazy. We're a 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. Not a huge deal. Victor's Rookie of the Year is in New Orleans. Omar Yurtseven. 6th man of the year in Miami. Tony Davis. Oh, yeah, that's what I call him. Defensive player of the year in LA. I don't play with injuries on. It makes sense. MPJ most improved in Denver, and Willie Green. 65 and 17 for the Pelicans. Well, they did have the number 2 overall pick. We have the number 4 overall pick, though. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a rematch potentially in the NBA Finals. So, we're 2 games behind Cleveland. We beat them last year. I'd like to beat them again. We can take a look at some numbers on the year for us. Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, and Kyrie Irving still doing their thing as our top 3 leading scorers. Cam Thomas off. Okay, maybe I should be starting this dude. I might have made a mistake. I mean, Keontae George, not a bad rookie year, but Cam Thomas might have earned his way into the starting 5. I'm not going to touch the rotation for the playoffs until I see how it's kind of going, but if we start losing and choking some games, potentially, I might throw Cam Thomas into that starting 5. We got Boston, the team that just technically swept them 2 years ago. They have replaced Marcus Smart with D'Angelo Russell. They still have the Jays here, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They added Noah Vonleh. That makes me want to puke. Robert Williams. They still have Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. Oh, come on. I love Kemba. Kemba's such a good dude. I was so much fun having him here, but the Kemba Walker and Boston experiment just did not work. There would never be a chance they would ever bring him back. I don't think so anyways. I couldn't see it. Moving on to Atlanta here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Trae Young, Terry Rozier, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Andre Drummond. They got a Congo off the bench. 6 overall pick, right? Yeah, he was 2020. Bogdanovich, Jalen Johnson, Skylar Mays. Let's go game by game with them. Let's see if Trae can finally put on a playoff performance. I mean, I know he did it against the Knicks a couple years ago, and then I guess he played pretty well against the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Philadelphia here in the Eastern Conference Finals. We got James Harden, our old friend, Tyrese Maxey, Cam Reddish, Rudy Gobert. What the hell is this? You do not need 2 7-footers in the same starting lineup. That just makes no sense. Rudy Gobert cannot shoot the basketball. Playing him at power forward in today's NBA makes no sense. And we're up 3-1 right now and 3-2. Hold on a minute. Okay. I was going to say, if we blew a 3-0 lead, we're going to have some things to say. All right, we got a rematch of last year's NBA Finals. It's the New Orleans Pelicans and the Brooklyn Nets. Starting 5 for New Orleans goes as follows. C.J. Jones, Ben Simmons. I forgot we... Did they have Simmons last year? I know we traded him there in the first offseason. But I'm trying to think when I scrolled through this. I don't know why I didn't. Either I just skipped over it and didn't even realize it, or I feel like he wasn't there. I could be losing my damn mind. I probably am. I typically do. We are up 3-0 against them, and we sweep the shit out of them. Did Ben Simmons even play? Who knows? Clint Capella, Finals MVP. You love to see it. We win 2 in a row. You know what that means. We're going for the 3-peat. I want to get it done. Let's head up to league meetings right now. We will reject all these as always. And we move on We can hit the draft lottery. I will try to pay attention. I don't think there's any circumstance that means we have a top lottery pick this year. Raptors, Thunder, Bulls, Nuggets, Jazz, your top 5, followed by the Pelicans, Magic, T-Wolves, Kings, and Pelicans. To 10. I don't think there's anything there that's worth doing. Steve Nash just won another championship. I can't fire you. We will now head up to the NBA draft. I do not think we have a pick that's worth anything. We have the 26th overall pick from Memphis. Thank you, Philadelphia. Cool. All right, let's... Oh, not rookie signing. We didn't have anything, right? Nope. Cool. All right, team player options. Cam Thomas definitely coming back. I'm most likely going to insert him into the starting lineup. It makes sense the way he was playing. I mean, it's cool to have that boost off the bench, if you will, but it almost feels a little weird not to have him in the starting 5. You kind of catch my drift. All right. And I say this just because it's kind of the way I always do rebuilds. It's weird. I don't know why I do this. I've just always done this for, you know, my thousands plus videos that I have of rebuilds. I don't like keeping teams exactly the same way as they were, like from one year to another. And unfortunately, I think the odd man out here is probably Bruce Brown. I don't have a problem with him. Boston native, by the way. Boston guy right here. I don't have a problem with him. I just think that, you know, he's the odd man out. I'm not trading Claxton. He's a very solid backup center. I'm not trading our 4th overall pick who would put up 15 points a game. And then Marcus Smart's defensive presence with Kyrie Irving is much needed. So I'm going to go ahead and trade Bruce Brown. It's not something I necessarily want to do, but he's the odd man out. It's a stupid rule that I have, but it's kind of one that I've always gone by. Kelly Oubre Jr., welcome to the team. It is what it is. I will see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year. We have won 2 championships in a row, and we are going for a 3rd here in our final season in Brooklyn. The starting 5 is one change. It's the insertion of Cameron Thomas. It makes sense. I probably should have started him last year. It really didn't end up affecting anything, but maybe his development a little bit. But he's very much earned that starting spot, and I'm going to give it to him. Kyrie Irving, Cameron Thomas, Brandon Ingram, Kevin Durant, and Clint Capella is the starting 5 for the final season. Our bench unit, Keontae George. He basically just switched roles with Cameron Thomas. I mean, he's getting 25 minutes a game instead of what? I played him 31 last year. It's not a crazy difference. Nick Claxton, Marcus Smart, and Kelly Oubre Jr., who you can call an upgrade over Bruce Brown. I'm not going to get into that debate, but overall-wise in the game, he is anyways. Let's sim the final season. Let's go get a three-peat. Final regular season comes to an end. This time MVP goes to Ja Morant. I think it's a possibility within the next few years. He's very good at the game of basketball. We are the 2 seed once again. Did not stop us from winning a championship last year. I'm not too nervous about it. DJ Wagner, I have no idea who you are. You're probably in high school. Congrats on Rookie of the Year. Nikola Jovic, 6th man of the year. I'm in high school at this time. Nikola Jovic, 6th man of the year, is in San Antonio. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year again. Nikola Jovic also wins Most Improved. Alvin Gentry, Coach of the Year. Did they bring him back? He was in New Orleans, correct? Or am I losing my fucking mind? I thought he was. I can't memorize coaches off the top of my head. We were 2 games behind Cleveland once again. Maybe they'll finally get the best of us this year. I'm hoping they don't. Player stats, oh my God. Cameron Thomas led this team in scoring. He is just proving day in and day out that I should have started him last season, and he's really sticking it to me right now. But I'm not mad. I'm happy we have him on the squad. Let's see him in the first round. The play-in. See who we got in the first round. It's going to be the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball is a 97 overall. Desmond Bane, Amani Bates, Miles Bridges, Kai Jones, Teo Mullen. What happened to this dude? I don't know. I feel like I heard so much about him, and then he just, like, I haven't heard anything about him in a long time. I don't know. Anyways, we're up 3-0. We sweep the Charlotte Hornets. Moving on to Toronto. I don't think we've faced them yet. They have Tyrese Halliburton on their team. I guess the second team was dumb in the Indiana Pacers and moved on from him. Interesting. The rest of the team is pretty much similar to what it looks like in real life right now. Scotty Barnes has obviously developed. Rookie of the Year, Scotty Barnes has developed well enough. We're up 3-1. We close them out and... Oh, shit. Did not mean to hit that. Okay. Cleveland here. All right. Garland, Jaden Ivey, Middleton, Mobley, Allen, Isaac Okoro again. This team... Oh, I saw John Wall down there. This team hasn't changed a ton. I think we're still overall-wise the better team. It always helps to have the best player in the series. I still think Kevin Durant is that. We're up 3-2 when we are back in the NBA Finals. This time... facing the Golden State Warriors. Wow, the Pelicans got bounced by the Spurs in the first round. Who saw that one coming? Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, Miles Turner, Benedict Mathurin. So they moved on from Clay finally, but, I mean, they got Jordan Poole. It's not like it's a huge difference. Jordan Poole is very, very good. We're 2-1. I haven't three-peated in this game in a long time. I'd like to, and we do it. Kyrie Irving, Finals MVP. Congratulations, Kyrie. Wow, first time in the video of me calling him Kyrie. That's not too bad. All right. Not a bad video. It's never a bad video when you three-peat. Obviously, this team does not need nearly as much help as a lot of other teams. I do want to do the Hawks next. I think they're a super exciting team, super young team, and I really could have a lot of fun with that. I think there's so many different ways I could approach it. So that's just the comments I was getting in my last video saying, can you do the Hawks? Thank God Vanguard updated. Dog shit game. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much fun I can do with that team. And again, I don't want that to limit you guys from commenting other teams. Comment to whatever team you want to see next down below. Other than that, if you guys are new around here, man, I would love to have you join the community. Hit that subscribe button. You know, it's great. I mean, I'm wrapping up my final days of college, and that's crazy to say, man. Then we're going to get back into daily uploads, and I'm super pumped for it. But we're looking forward to that in just a few short weeks. I'm looking forward to that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys all in the next one.